It would seem that nowadays, we as a society has begun to be more accepting of gays and the part that they play in our world. Like most big problems that needs to be solved, it only gets worse before it gets better. And sadly, the accepting of gays is no exception. Like a cornered animal about to die, it lashes out, trying desperately to keep itself alive. But instead of trying to keep anti-gay alive in first world nation, these ideals are more than ever being pushed onto third world nation as laws enforced by their government. As of 2014, there are around 79 countries with anti-gay laws. You heard that right. In 2014, there are 79 countries in the world where being gay is illegal. Yes, in these countries, you can get jail time if you're found gay. Some of these countries even have death penalty for the crime of being gay. That's right, if you are gay, in the eyes of these countries, you are no better, if not worse, than all the rapists, thieves, and murderers. Sadly, the reason why this is happening is the same reason it has always been. When people are scared or having a hard time in life, they tend to want to blame someone. We blame the immigrants for taking all our jobs, the African American for turning our towns into slums, and schools for our kids turning out rotten. Yet, if we simply stop and look at the bigger picture, along with the facts about both sides, we can see that there are most likely no way such a big problems can be the doing of only one group of people. Think about it. Is it really the immigrants who took all our jobs? Or could they just have been a scapegoat used by the companies who are moving overseas or outsourcing their jobs? So what about the homosexuals? Why are they being demonized and discriminated against? Well, there are many reasons why, most, unsurprisingly, coming from religious base. Witches and magics are no longer a good enough reason to kill or hate on a group of people anymore. So religious fundamentalists find ways that are still okay and use them, and gay just happen to be that one thing. By blaming gays or passing anti-gay laws, politicians get more religious-based vote, and by blaming homosexual, Christians can put a face on everything they believe is wrong, allowing for more donation along with a more united force to fight other things they deem sinful. However, in today's world, first world nations don't look kindly down on anti-gay laws, so instead of trying to force it on first world country, they sell it to third world nations. And that to me is the saddest part of all. I like to think that the leaders of these third world nations truly care and are afraid for their people, so they grab onto any hope they can find, even if it's false hope. They trick themselves into believing that if only they follow the teaching of God and ruin the lives of a few people, or outright sacrifice them, then somehow this all-powerful being can save them from their harsh, disease-ridden world. But the problem they have is not something that can be solved by simply getting rid of one group of people. But let's move on to why they think gays are so bad and sinful. They believe gays are sinful because their holy book said so. And sadly, that is all they need. But the most basic of arguments they use to justify discrimination against gays is the ideal that being gay is a choice and not something people are born with. This ideal that being gay is a choice is really short-sighted, considering what being gay means. Simply put, being gay means that you are automatically different and are second-class citizen, losing some of their most basic human rights along with discrimination from your own government and people. And those who are unlucky enough to be born into a religious family may even end up being hated by them and at worst, disowned. When you're saying that those who are gay chose to be gay, you are also saying that they wanted to be hated, discriminated against, and disowned. And going through all this pain and misery just so they can act like they're into the same sex? Of course, that's also like saying the colonial slave chose to be black, which is why it is impossible for someone in his or her right mind to could have ever knowingly chose to be gay if in fact being gay was a choice. If you call yourself a righteous person worthy of eternity in heaven, but yet you would believe that a person, even if he or she was a perfectly nice person, would want to live such a harsh life for something that even they couldn't have wanted, rather than to even consider the possibility that maybe, just maybe, they were just born that way, and like you too, never had a choice on what gender they would inevitably be attracted to.